And good morning, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now, coming to you from our digital desk. We are reviving here at 19 News a segment that we used to do pre-COVID, and a lot of things got interrupted by COVID. It was a segment with the Cuyahoga County Crime Stoppers, or Crime Stoppers of Cuyahoga County, and the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. This is an opportunity for the Sheriff's Department to highlight fugitives that are out in and amongst our community that are wanted for various crimes, extremely serious crimes. And we are going to begin a segment where we feature them once a week to try and help our community, try and help the Sheriff's Department get some of these individuals off our streets and into the courtroom where they can answer to charges. Of course, everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of laws. So let's get underway with Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. We're going to bring in our trusted detective, Red Dyer from the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. Red, this is a segment that we did for a few years before COVID, so it is great to have you back. How have you been?
Oh, I've been excellent. It's great to be back. I'm glad to be reviving this program with you.
Red, let's talk about when we did this pre-COVID. This has had a lot of success, and whether it's getting individuals off the street, whether it's generating tips, why is this such a big portion of what Crime Stoppers does to get the information out of there? How does this help you, and how does it help detectives in Cuyahoga County?
Well, the tips can help us locate these individuals. A lot of people I'm sure you'll touch on this as well, are afraid to come forward with information that might help with these investigations. And it also gets the community involved with policing, which I think is a very important part of policing.
So since you brought it up, let's talk about this. You can see the phone number on the screen there. If you need something to remember, it's 216-25-CRIME, but you can see the phone number there on the screen. And if you're watching this on social media, on Facebook, we would love for you to share this video, because as we feature every week 3 individuals, we need this to get around. We have seen this work with missing children, missing adults. Social media has an incredible power that the more this video gets shared, the more people who watch it, the more set of eyes who may be able to bring in individuals. So if you were to call in, Red, walk me through somebody that's nervous about calling in. I don't want my phone number. I don't want my voice recorded. I know where this person might be. Walk people through why they should feel okay calling 216-252-7463.
Well, it's completely anonymous. We don't have caller ID. We don't ask for your name or your information. So you're completely anonymous. You don't have to worry about being identified.
And Red, I'm assuming you're going to say that no tip is too small. When somebody watches this and sees one of these individuals, what kind of information are you hoping somebody calls in with? I saw him last week. I saw this individual. I saw this woman 2 weeks ago. I know where she used to live. I'm assuming nothing is too small. You want everything.
Absolutely. Any tip. Often the smallest details are the most important.
Can come down to where somebody works, they're getting paid under the table, where they live, where they used to live, where their family lives. Everything is going to help. Well, let's get started with Detective Red Dyer here. All of these cases come out of the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. The warrants are active, and these individuals are presumably maybe in our neighborhoods, in our communities, so we need to get them off the street. Red, we're going to start off with Kenneth Hamilton. Walk us through it.
Mr. Hamilton, I wanted to start with, maybe known on the streets as Ken Dog. He actually has a distinctive gold tooth. That's, so that would definitely stick out to someone in, the public. According to police reports, he broke into the attic window of the victim's home and attacked his child's mother. He had thrown her to the ground and held her down by her neck and was punching her repeatedly. Thankfully, she managed to escape to her car and locked herself inside to call the police. He had fled to, prior to police arriving. But and the victim even had shown text messages on her phone of him threatening to kill her family. So that should be considered very serious, very dangerous. He has a criminal history dating back to 2005, actually, and even has a warrant with the Cleveland Police. So, and as you see on your screen, he's about 6'2", 171 pounds. And he has a small tattoo or mark on the right side of his neck. I think the last known location we have for him was to be staying in the Cliffview area of Cleveland.
Very good. Just scary situation there, thinking of him breaking into the attic window of the home where the mother of his children lives, and that domestic violence situation, very dangerous. Let's move on. Whether you want to call it a career criminal or making the rounds, here comes Charles Hudson, and the most notable thing here is this individual has warrants out of 12 different agencies. That is almost mind-blowing or shocking.
That very shocking. I actually had to go through and double check to make sure I had all these names right for these. But yeah, I mean, Garfield Heights, Wadsworth, North Royalton, Fairlawn, Ravenna, Medina County, Solon Summit, Cuyahoga, Stowe, Warrensville Heights, and North Olmsted, just to name some.
So walk us through what he's wanted for now.
Well, what he's wanted for is Mr. Hudson was convicted in 2009 of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor in Medina County. The victim was a 15-year-old female. Unfortunately, it should be noted that he has a tattoo on his neck as well, and a dragon tattoo on his right shoulder. So that should help identify him.
So, Red, the actual charge for Charles Hudson, he is a registered sex offender, or needs to be a registered sex offender because of that 2009 case. Walk us through what it means when it is a failure to register.
It means he hasn't updated his current address with us or where he's staying. It's very important that we know where these individuals are staying.
And I'm just looking at the records that you folks have provided us here. When we start to look around the list of charges, Garfield Heights, failure to appear for petty theft. Wadsworth, failure to appear for criminal trespass. Parma, he's wanted for 2 counts of theft and criminal trespass. Fairlawn, criminal trespass. North Royalton, fentanyl possession, cocaine possession, failure to appear. I mean, this is the very definition of somebody we need off our streets. Red, last but not least, who do we have?
We have Mr. Kenneth Hunter. Mr. Hunter is actually wanted in connection with an armed robbery that took place in Cleveland Heights at a Sunoco gas station on Cedar Road. I'm sure you guys have covered that story at one point. Actually, what should be noted is during the robbery, one of the suspects actually pistol whipped an elderly man, and he required multiple stitches for those injuries. So very serious situation. All the other parties involved in this case have been apprehended. We just need to have Mr. Hunter brought into custody. He's actually a repeat violent offender as well for an aggravated robbery conviction in '92. And I believe I mentioned to you before that he had a GPS monitor. He was granted bond, was put on a GPS monitor, and then decides when he was told to report in June that he's just going to go ahead and cut that off and not come in.
And unfortunately, we see that too often. What's interesting about this case is there are other individuals who are involved in this armed robbery at the Sunoco. They have been arrested. They're sort of there's this limbo factor of getting those other individuals into court. They're sort of waiting for the arrest of Kenneth Hunter so that he can answer to his role in this robbery before they move forward. So we really need this guy off the street.
We do. Just as with all these individuals featured today, very important.
Red, we used to say it when this segment was Wanted Wednesday. We really need these tips to come in. 216-252-7463. You have a famous line you want to hit us with.
I do, Dan. Crime doesn't pay. Crime Stoppers does.
That's right. Any tip that comes in that leads to a conviction is up for a potential reward with Crime Stoppers. I want to thank Detective Red Dyer with the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, as well as Crime Stoppers. Patricia has been a wonderful help. This is our part in helping back. Again, if you are watching on social media and you share this video, tag somebody that may know somebody in this case so that we can generate some tips to get these individuals off the street and back into a courtroom. I'm Dan DeRosa with 19 News Now. Red, I want to thank you for the time today, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
19 News, first, fair, everywhere.